Good evening. Welcome to QUT Web News.
Good evening.
A fire that claimed the lives of a Bracken Ridge couple over the weekend has been labelled suspicious, with police calling in the homicide squad after an initial investigation. While police are waiting on official post-mortem results, today they confirmed that the deaths were not accidental.
Police say they're waiting for official post-mortem results before commenting further, but they warn those results aren't expected for some time.
We've got no official results of the autopsy, so I can't really comment a lot on that, but it does appear that the deaths were not accidental or natural. Detective
Inspector Clark says there's no reason for locals to be fearful, although police don't have any suspects. The bodies of retired Army officer Glenn Fry and his wife Flora were discovered on Friday morning after a fire tore through their two-storey home. The other occupants, their two daughters and the eldest's boyfriend, all managed to escape. The youngest daughter suffered severe injuries and police are unsure when she'll be well enough to speak.
Well, obviously the three other occupants as people that we really do want to speak to. We've spoken to two of them and they've been very forthcoming and helpful in their assistance.
Police say, as the forensic investigation has just been completed, it is too early to comment on how or where the fire started. However, it appears there is no sign of forced entry. Police aren't prepared to comment on any injuries to the bodies until official reports are released. Laura Churchill, QUT News.
Prime Minister Julia Gillard today put a price tag on her government's financial woes, confirming there'll be a $12 billion hole in the upcoming federal budget. Battling against lower than expected revenue returns, the PM says key programs like Gonski and the National Disability Insurance Scheme will not be jettisoned.
Julia Gillard laid out the government's broad economic strategy during a speech in Canberra today. She described Australia's economy as stable and resilient, saying the key investments will be affordable with the right planning.
Put simply, spending is controlled, but the amount of tax money coming to the government is growing much slower than expected.
Opposition leader Tony Abbott doesn't agree.
I think everyone knows that this is a government which has been spending like a drunken sailor.
Ms Gillard says the tax revenue collected so far this financial year is already $7.5 billion less than predicted. And there's more to lose.
Treasury now estimates that this reduction will increase to around $12 billion by the end of the financial year.
But she's adamant the budget will not fail. The Prime Minister says the disability care scheme and increased school funding will not be cut. She says they're necessary investments for Australia's economic future.
We won't, during this time of reduced revenue, fail the future by not making the wise investments that will make us a stronger and smarter nation.
The budget will be handed down on May 14th. Anna Wall, QUT News.
Schools across Queensland are on the chopping block as part of the state government's controversial plans to sell off assets and pay down debt. The Education Minister John Paul Langbroek today confirmed some schools would be offloaded as part of an education shake-up, which includes increased disciplinary action in schools.
First weekend detentions, now the threat of schools being shut down and sold off. But the opposition says this is just the beginning.
They are going to sell anything they can that isn't tied down. If you think you've seen something already, you ain't seen nothing yet.
The Education Minister confirmed his department is considering school closures. But he denies reports 55 schools are under direct threat, saying no final figure has been confirmed.
We're working assiduously to make sure that we have a number that after consultation will be acceptable to the Queensland community.
The state government says any funds from school sales will be channelled back into education. But many parents aren't happy with the decision.
Education is more important than money at the moment.
We need all the schools we can get.
You've got to wonder what the long-term pain is going to be for short-term gain.
The Queensland Teachers Union says the government needs to consult with teachers and principals before the sell-off begins.
What we've got is a policy that will need to be changed, that will need to be reworked before it can be a practical solution for schools.
The threat of school closures, along with yesterday's announcement the government may introduce Saturday detentions, leaves some people questioning the direction of education in Queensland.
There is nothing more sacred to a local community than its local school. And so if schools are going to be on the table, nothing is sacred under the Newman government.
Ashley Stevenson, QUT News.
After almost 2 decades away, Queenslander Chris Saines is back home to take over the running of the internationally acclaimed Queensland Art Gallery and GOMA. His first day on the job was celebrated with warm and colourful welcome.
The art gallery was a little busier than usual at 8:30 this morning, all for Chris Saines. He's no stranger to the art world, after heading up Auckland's gallery for the past 17 years. Today, he spoke confidently about the future of both Queensland's galleries.
I feel tremendously excited about the possibilities of this new role.
The mood was uplifting, a celebration. Today's guests included recently appointed Arts Minister Ian Walker, who described Chris Saines as quite a catch. Friends and old associates who'd travelled from Auckland spoke warmly of their time with Saines.
So we hand him over with our love and deepest respect.
Those who spoke of Chris made one thing very clear. Great things are in store for Brisbane's artistic hub. He himself highlighting the need to source from local artists.
I think that it's not just cost effective, it's smart to look inwards from time to time.
A fitting farewell from his old Maori colleagues and an equally warm welcome. Molly Glassy, QUT News.
Racing New South Wales has dismissed calls by Independent Senator Nick Xenophon for a judicial inquiry into horse racing following the controversial clash between horse owner John Singleton and trainer Gai Waterhouse on Saturday. Singleton sacked the legendary trainer following allegations she tipped off her bookmaker son Tom about the condition of star mare More Joyous before Saturday's race.
Long-time anti-gambling campaigner Nick Xenophon wants Racing New South Wales to look into the relationship between trainers and bookmakers.
I don't think John Singleton is someone that you can treat lightly with the allegations he made. I know they've been denied by the Waterhouses. I reckon the best and fairest way to deal with this is an inquiry with judicial powers to clear the air once and for all.
Racing New South Wales refused Xenophon's call for a judicial inquiry, claiming the senator is overreacting. They will carry out their own investigation.
Say if you had reliable information that a horse wasn't going to perform, you'd probably look to benefit from it. We'll have a look at the betting sheets in the next couple of days.
Gai Waterhouse had nothing to say to the media today.
I've got no comment.
Her son Tom denied Singleton's allegations against him and is threatening the millionaire horse owner with legal action.
I never said that it had problems. I never knew that it had problems. He says that kind of stuff just, I think, to cause a bit of controversy, and always has a bit of a fight, tiff with mum regularly, but they always kiss and make up the next day.
Singleton and the Waterhouses have been family friends for nearly 40 years, a friendship that ended spectacularly on Saturday. Thomas Broxter, QUT News.
Beautiful weather around the southeast today. Let's look at today's temperatures for the region now. Brisbane had a cool start, warming up to a top of 27. Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast and Ipswich also all reached 27. Tomorrow, Sydney will have a shower or two, 24. Melbourne, mostly sunny. Canberra and Hobart will have a cooler start at 7 degrees, warming up during the day. In the north, Darwin will reach 34 degrees, mostly sunny. Mostly sunny around Queensland for tomorrow. Mount Isa a top of 33 degrees. Bundaberg a shower or two and 27. Longreach fine and sunny with a top of 32. Looking ahead, Brisbane can expect showers over the next few days. Mostly fine and a possible shower for tomorrow and Wednesday, a top of 27. A late shower is expected for Thursday and 28 degrees. That brings you up to date with the weather this Monday evening.
And that's all the news we have for now.
We'll be back tomorrow with more QUT News. Goodbye.
Goodbye.